Hey there, friends and fellow crafters. It's Leanne, and I am here with my first design team project for fairy stampers. Today I'm using the Fairy Hug Stamps 117 Pond, 118 Ducks, and 139 Believing Sentiment. We will be doing our project using Distress White Heavy Stock on 100, which is a 130-pound cardstock. I do have everything set up on my MISTI, as you can see here. That way I knew everything would fit and just where I wanted it to fit. So first thing I'm doing is using Morning Mist from VersaFine Clair to stamp up that pond, and going to do it twice because my magnet was in the way and hitting the sentiment. So there we go. Now I got that pond the way I wanted it. And I'm going to flip my paper over, and then I'll flip the MISTI around and pull in the VersaFine Clair in Nocturne that I will use to stamp my ducks and the sentiment. Love using VersaFine Clair because it is a fast-drying pigment ink, gives a very crisp image, and especially for sentiments. However, I am stamping twice to make sure that I do get a clean impression. Since these stamps are new, I have only used them once, and that was to work on a prototype for this card. So I did cut the pond, as you can see I'm working here, cut the pond out of some Inkadoo masking paper, and I masked that pond over so that now I can bring in a stencil from my stash and do the sky and then the grass, using tumbled glass in Distress Oxide for, oh, sorry about that. Forgot, I went back and grabbed my heat tool so that I could make sure that my ink was dry. Didn't want it to smear just in case, even though it is fast drying. So here we go. Now using that tumble glass and Distress Oxide for my sky. And then I will be using, and just, moving the stencil a little bit each way so that I can get cloud images. And yes, I did color my duck blue. I'll take care of that in a few minutes. So went that far for my sky, and then flip the stencil over, bring in my Lucky Clover. Yes, I did change my brush. I have one for each color family. And there we go. Now we got the grass. And we have quite a few ponds and lakes here in town. And so we do have grass right on up to the rocks, or the water's edge, as it may be. So now I'm going to bring in some Copics. I'm using E25 to color the main body of the ducks. I do not own many Copics. I usually use my Ohuhus. However, I was given some as a gift for Christmas and then have added to my collection since. So I am using E000 for the beak area of the duck and his face. And then I am going to bring in a blue Wink of Stella shimmer pen to do the water. I thought it needed a little bit of shimmer somewhere on my project, and why not let it be the water, because it shines anyway, especially when the sun's shining on it. So I just thought it would be fun. Then I will bring in my C0, which is a cool gray, just to give a little bit of color to the rocks. I didn't want to leave them with that stark white color. and just coloring around just to give them a touch of color. Again, I didn't want to leave the stark white. I thought it was way off balance with that. So again, this is my first design team project with Fairy Stampers. I'm so excited to be a part of the new team, and everything will be linked in the description box below for your shopping pleasure. I'm now putting took the ducks away, put my layer back in my Misty so that I can restamp my sentiment, since I did do the cloud blending over it. That way my sentiment is nice and crisp again. And now I will bring it in. I have my A2, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Side folding card base. I have it folded already, ready to go. My tape runner decides it's not going to work, so I grab another one. And there we go. Just adding my tape to the base, add my layer to that so that it fits on there. And there we go. My project is complete. Happy crafting and have a great day. Thank you for watching.